Hello. Okay, there we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Sorry I'm tardy. We had a nice long outside work day today. It was good. Well, the neighbors, actually, to both sides of us are in their older years of life, so doing yard work and things like that are not easy for them. So I take on a lot of that stuff myself. So their dog had just hurt its front leg because the moles are digging like little ditches, in the yard. So I filled all those ditches, and she bought one of those big roller wheels that you could fill up with water. So I was rolling that around, like a giant pasta machine, Then we did some tree trimming and some sidewalk chalk art with Emma. Me and Emma went this past weekend. There was a little sidewalk chalk like event that it's like a competition, and I told Emma that me and her should enter next year, that we should practice really hard and actually enter into the contest next year. So we're gonna do that. She's really super into it. So sidewalk chalk competition. You don't use like kids sidewalk chalk. You actually use like chalk pastels, nice quality ones. So, but it's fun. I like sidewalk chalk. What contest? It's just here in the city I live in. They have like every year they have this event. It's in like this kind of like the city park area where there's lots of like flat concrete, and it's just a sidewalk chalk art contest. Everyone gets like a certain type of square, and then you just do it. So and maybe the missus will send me some of the photos from today. She's really, I just casually mentioned it, that we should enter and that we should practice so we're good for next year. And she's like taking it super serious. So. Okay. Well, let's get to it. I was planning on getting on earlier, but I wanted to wait until I heard back from the mechanic. We had to drop our car off to get a wheel bearing fixed. But while he was fixing the wheel bearing, he found issues with the CV axle. So that is getting swapped out too. But he couldn't get the part today. He has to wait till tomorrow. So we'll get the car back till tomorrow. He is, yeah. Never is one thing, yeah. He's not charging me for labor though. He's just doing the parts, so it's pretty nice. Just he's a good guy. Referral from the neighbors. So this is the second time I've had him doing something. Yeah, exactly, right? Basically there already. I've done CV axle swapping before. I just didn't want to deal with the wheel bearing, so. But since he's already there, might as well. My last car, me and Bob swapped out the CV axle on that one. Yeah, right. You know, we can squeeze out another hour of labor for that CV axle replacement. All right, let's see here. I believe the last thing we landed on was we were working on his face, on his kind of like chin cheek area. The good news is everything balances out because I had a weird string of random like handyman little side gigs that will cover the cost of fixing the car pretty much exactly. So I chopped down my neighbor's tree for them. Me and old man Bob did, and then a friend of ours had a deck that was rotting, like the deck boards were rotting, and I told her I would do a redeck for her. I'm finishing that one up on Thursday. Checks and balances, everything in balance. It's always nice when it works out that way. Hey, Cheese, how you doing? Wait, let me see, which reference was I using? I'm doing really good. It's been a really nice week so far. Hey, that's good. I guess that means we're getting closer. We are. I fairly felt it last week. We're really starting to kind of get it honed in. So, but I want to keep pushing. Yeah. See, that's another thing too. My cars are all-wheel drive as well, so that's why I definitely didn't want to mess with it. Bring the bridge of the nose out just a bit here. Ah, jeez. Why does it always make me do this? I have to go get the phone. I always get, for some reason, I always get logged out when I do this. Oh my goodness. Mr. Deagle, thank you so much, man. I just saw that. Thank you very much, my friend.
Adventurer, to a land of great deeds and bravery. Thanks be to our recruiter for their wise choice.
I appreciate that, brother. Five. Okay. There we go. We're back in. We're in. There you go. Just make them lunch. Even better. We'll make you a sandwich, Mr. Deagle. Japanese. Check a different reference here. Safer to go out. Hey, everyone can cook. That's what I learned. Never say can't. Yes, Sherry. Is it exclamation point story? Is that? I think so. She burns water. Well, we all gotta start somewhere. It's the first step to being great at cooking. It's to be really bad at it. There you go. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Cooks American cuisine in Japan. Making some burgers. Burgers and fries. Is that how I wonder if that's how it is in other countries where like like something like Japanese food here is like more on the fancier side. It's like a fancy American style restaurant somewhere else. Taco place, yeah. That's one thing that you just don't see a lot of because my wife's from Japan, or not Japan. My wife's from Germany, and you won't find Mexican food over there. So that was probably one of the best things for her to have when she came over here. Some good authentic Mexican food. Hmm. They expanded to Germany. You know what the crazy thing is, if you have something like McDonald's over in Germany, it's actually real food. It's like completely different than something you have in America. No joke, I'm telling you. It's totally, totally, totally different. Like none of the junk that we have here. It's because there's so much food regulations and laws in Germany that kind of protect people when it comes to what's in the food. Yeah, it's way better. Yeah, that in order for McDonald's to do business over there, they have to change and actually use real food over there. So over here they don't have to, so they don't. So, but it's crazy the difference. If you probably go look up videos of people going to McDonald's in different countries. Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet Japan has good food regulation rules. But put this in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually a certain like amount of liquid is acceptable. Did I ever tell you the story about the dealing with customs on a train? So, so a couple years ago, we went to Germany, I got invited to go to the Czech, to check for the polymer clay convention in Pilsen, and it was like I think it was a 6 hour train ride from Germany to Czechia, formerly known as the Czech Republic. Anyways, everything was smooth getting there. There was no like customs check or nothing, going across the country border from Germany into Pilsen. But on the way back, it was the Germans, and they were like, so I'm sitting on the train, in my normal all black wardrobe with long hair, big long beard, and like a military style backpack. So all of a sudden, a police dog, and like four German policemen come onto the train car, going like through the middle aisle slowly, letting the dog sniff. And I was a little bit nervous because I actually had two Pilsner, because Pilsen is the home of the Pilsner, is where it was invented. So I wanted to bring back two big Pilsners from Pilsen to have with my brother-in-law and my father-in-law. It was totally okay to have it, but you know how it is. Like, even if it's okay, you feel like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, like transporting beer, Oh boy, this guy, get him. But anyway, so what made it even worse is when the dog got to me, he started sniffing my bag, like really sniffing my bag, like hitting on it, And then so the German police are just so like stone cold, like super like almost like you're talking to a computer, basically, and just like passport, please, And I gave him the passport, and like, what do you have in your bag? Just like straight to the point, no BS, I'm like, just normal stuff, I got 2 beers in there. Is that a problem? So they like, we need to check your bag. So they grabbed the bag, they started checking through it, and they ended up finding my beard oil, which had rosemary, and I can't remember what other herb is in there, but that's what the dog was actually picking up on. And then it just occurred to me that dogs that are trained to smell strong smelling, like herbal smells, can't differentiate between like rosemary smell and, something that they're supposed to be looking for, It was quite an experience. Yeah, like, I bet you can't really train a dog to only pick specific smells, but maybe like almost like a category of smells. Because the way they like showed the bottle to his colleagues was almost like they just know that that's kind of a flaw in the system of using the dog. So I don't know. It was interesting experience. That's for sure. Well, it's funny because so here I am, like in my mind, worried about them having an issue with me bringing these beers, and then it all dawned on me that there is literally a group in the car drinking beer the whole time. That of course it's okay, you know. They serve beer on the trains there, you know. That's like I think it's a common thing to do, like beer training, you know, where you basically just hop on go on a nice train ride and be drinking beers the whole time and laughing, and yeah, beer's good. Oh yeah, for sure. I try to only when I do have beer, I only have imported German beer when I can. For something to be called beer in Germany, there's something called the German beer purity law. It's a law that they've had for a long time that basically states that beer cannot have any other ingredients other than the 4 ingredients found in beer. Yep, that's Druff knows what it's called. Like water. What are the 4? Hops, water, hops, malt, yeast. What's the water, malt, barley, hops, and yeast? Yeah, that's it. Those 4, only those 4 ingredients can be if something is imported German beer, it only has those 4 ingredients. Cannot have anything more. And I do like that. Malted barley, water, hops, and yeast. Originally enacted in Bavaria in 1516, the law initially only mentioned barley, hops, and water. Yeast was not explicitly listed because the science of fermentation was not yet fully understood, but it was naturally included once the role was discovered. Dankeschön. Ein Bier bitte. Danke. Okay, we gotta fix the nostrils here.
noble ally, please accept these treasures as a gift for your unwavering service to the kingdom.
Hey, Polly. Crazy how time seems to slip away, doesn't it? 74 months. Holy cannoli. I remember the first day I said the name Polly Schlamazel. What a day. Addicted to the name ever since. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Let's get you some wisdom, my friend. Many who seek answers are only avoiding the work of listening. Many who seek answers are only avoiding the work of listening. Ah, yes. Always seeking the answer that's right in front of you. Especially the ones you don't want to hear, right? It must be something else. I must keep looking. Oh, my friend, no. Yes. It says, many who seek answers are only avoiding the work of listening. Were you avoiding listening? Nice. I must find out what cnotbusch said. I must find it. I'll have to check the VOD. I must keep looking. Only I knew what he was saying. And you don't accept the answers that are already there. It's true. Oh. Yeah. It's, yeah. It takes time. A lot of cases, you know. I've had personal experience with that. Answers in front of you all along. Just weren't ready to see it. Indeed. Since measuring. Getting difficult. Yeah, the eyebrow area is very expressive when it comes to, yeah, you can, one little movement one way and you can completely change the expression of a face. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Eyebrows, yeah. Probably one of the most expressive parts of human face, actually, is the eyebrows. Like most, like diverse, as far like as most storytelling feature. Eyebrows. Oh yeah. Like training to like not show facial expressions, or oh, interesting. What field, may I ask? Is it healthcare? Interesting. I mean, you can speak a lot with your face without even realizing it, you know? You can read someone's mind through their face. Dropped my reference. Licensing. Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely something you have to practice. Hey, Saradini. Hey, Mr. Bio, how you doing, man? Oops. I dropped all my wisdoms on the ground. All right. That'll wake him. Have soup. Like how often you have soup. Time to make some soup. Hey, how you doing, Hollow? No, it's a child. Of a young boy. Well, what country are you from, Boot Camp? And thank you very much, by the way. Welcome. Happy to have you. You can get soft, but it's really soft. It's very, very soft to work with. So I would try to, I would really try to get something of a higher firmness. I would say worst case scenario, you could get the soft and try to firmen it up by leaching it, but I'm not sure how well that will go. Just know that if you do end up getting soft, know that it really is very soft stuff. You know, I don't use soft myself. For occasionally I'll use it, but usually it's medium firm or extra firm. Hey, yeah, no worries. I would try to get something that's not soft if you can, because soft is indeed very soft. You're from Los Angeles. Okay, I mean, you should be able to get. I mean, are you ordering it from Cosplay Direct? Yeah, it is. It's worth the wait to get medium firm or extra firm, for sure. here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, go to cosplay.com and just order it direct. If you're from the States, there's no reason not to just get it straight from cosplay. Keep at it. That's right. Only one way forward, and that's through the struggle, through the pain. Through the discomfort. It is weaponized, yeah. This never really picks up, and this hasn't really picked up over there. So. Oh, hey, Mr. Deagle. Do you want me to wait to ship your Batman until the Flash is done? Ship them both together? Or would you like Batman sent out? Yes, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Oh, konnichiwa. Nice to meet you. Welcome in. Don't forget to change the oil. Did I tell you guys about that lawnmower I've had for like 6 or 7 years? I think 7 years even. When I first moved to this neighborhood, yeah. Well, I was mowing this weekend. Well, let me tell people that don't know that when I first moved to this neighborhood about 7 years ago, I started with basically nothing, and I needed a lawnmower. And one of the first things I saw when I pulled into the neighborhood with the moving truck was this little cardboard sign that says "Lawnmowers for Sale." So I was like, "Oh, sweet, perfect." I stopped immediately and went and checked out. This old guy had a bunch of older lawnmowers that he like refurbished, and he was just selling them for real cheap. So I'm guessing he would get like old lawnmowers, tune them up, get them running, and then sell them for some cash. So the one I bought was $60. I bought it for $60. Took it back, and basically I've had it ever since. And I've done practically no maintenance to it, and even leave it outside during the wintertime uncovered. And it still fires up and runs. No problem, Well, this past weekend, I was mowing the neighbor's yard, and I was just about to get finished, and it started making puttering noises that it normally is not made before. It was running real rugged. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was waiting for this day when it would just stop working, but anyways, it did. It officially stopped working, and even to the point where like I couldn't pull the cord anymore. Like it was like totally seized up. I had no idea what happened, but I was like, okay, I guess it's time to go visit that old guy and get a new one. Well, probably about 5 minutes later, I'm in the backyard and I'm talking to the missus about the lawnmower situation. And old man Bob comes by to ask me a question. Well, Bob is like just a brilliant small engines tinkerer guy. Like he can get any. Anyways, I told Bob, I was like, yeah, Bob, he's like, hey, how you doing, Bob? I was like, yeah, man, my mower stopped working. I basically have had it for 7 years and never done nothing to it, and it was only a matter of time. Well, of course, Bob couldn't resist the challenge, so he starts looking at it, starts taking things apart. He pulls off the air filter and hands me this it's like a sponge that's the air filter, and it was completely like gummed up and caked with like stuff. He's like, why don't you take that and go wash that out? And then he's like looking at it, and he goes to check the oil. It's like completely black, like totally the dirtiest oil ever. He's like, oh man, it's pretty dirty. So then he's like goes back to his house to grab a few things. Comes back with like big old can of diesel, old school oil and syrup. Yeah, it was bad. And a few little tools and stuff like that. Well, he goes to give it the old oil change and unscrews the oil cap. He makes like a little makeshift oil pan for it. Unscrews the oil cap. I'm holding it tipped over on its side for him. And then he's like, all right, go ahead and slowly tip it back down. I tipped it back down. Not a single drop of oil. He's like, I've never seen that. He's like, I've never had not even one drip come out. It was like completely devoid of all oil. So then he's like, okay. And then he's like grabbing he's under there, and he's like grabbing the blade, and he's giving it like a twist and a turn. All of a sudden I see like kind of like some like puffs of smoke come out of it. Like he was like able to like break it free. And then he put it back down, put the oil cap back on, filled it up with some nice diesel oil, put the cleaned up air filter back in, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you go ahead and give that a try?" And then pulled it up, fired right up. It's like a brand new mower all over again. Maybe I'll get another 7 years out of it. Yeah, he said those engines they designed to have a lot. He said they got a lot of room. Is what he said. So best $60. Yeah, I couldn't believe. I mean, I could believe it, but it was just like, man, I was like totally in my head already. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to go get another one. But no, just those machines, man. Those old school push mower machines, decent oil. Yeah, right. So, I think this time I'll actually try and maintain it a little bit because I don't like the prospect of having to go buy another lawnmower. So, maybe this could be the last lawnmower I ever have to buy for $60. I'll be happy with that. So, anyways, that's my lawnmower story. And now you're going to break it. Well, that's the thing. You would think it would have broken by now, because like I said, I truly haven't been doing any. Likely pistons didn't seize up, or he said not completely. They just didn't completely seize up. It was just a small fusion weld inside of the old engine block. You just had to get a little twist and break it free. Good to go. So. Had one of those just like that, left it with my old house when I sold it. Big mistake. Bummer. Yeah, I know. Both my neighbors left and right have electric mowers. I have an old gas one. 3.5 horsepower. Man, I got that thing. I said Bob has that thing tweaked to the point where it mows through. I could have like super knee-high grass and just, put the mulcher shooting out the side. Just get through. I can get through anything. Gas mowers, yeah, totally. I honestly doubt electric mower is more efficient than a gas mower. The amount of extra energy and damage to the environment of making those giant batteries for those those electric mowers, plus the what it costs to charge those things, and they don't even run for very long. Oftentimes the neighbors left and right have half their yard mowed, and then they have to charge their lawnmower. So yeah, I won't give up my gas one. Yeah, see, look at loosen it. And then the thing is for a fact the batteries degrade. Every battery technology is just not very good. It always degrades. So it's only downhill from here. That's why you get a second battery. Yeah. And then in a couple of years you have to get 2 more of those big old batteries because they ain't working anymore. Oh, yeah. Only gas on the block. That's crazy how quick everybody switched from gas mowers. Old Bob found an old school scooter, and I was like, what are you going to be doing with that scooter there, Bob? He's all fixing it up and stuff. He's like, I'm hanging on to it in case gas prices go to $6 a gallon. Because those old scooters, those moped scooters, get really good gas mileage. So I'm like, that's actually really smart. Didn't think about that. Hey, cordless drills. I like my cordless tools. I do like them. and I use them for a lot of things. But I agree. I use corded tools whenever I can, so you don't have to deal with the batteries. But definitely convenient when you need to go do a bunch of different things outside, out and about. You don't got to run a power cord. I guess I don't even have an external outlet. The house that I'm renting, no external outlet. So like when I need power outside, I gotta like run a cord through the house, out the door. It's not convenient. All right, just gonna skip. It's enough dilly dally and get back to work. I do have an electric weed eater, but I have like 7 batteries, so. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, or like you run into a situation where you didn't charge up your batteries before a job. It's not like you can like say, "Hey, sorry, I got to do it tomorrow because my batteries need to charge." You know. I have a like a corded drill. Actually, the only reason I switched to a cordless drill for on stream is for some strange reason the corded drill I was using would disconnect the camera when I would use it. No joke. Every time I would use it, it would disconnect the camera. Somehow it was really weird. So I switched to cordless. Things shooting off some frequencies or something. I don't know. It happened when I got this camera. It's more high-powered camera. Italy. All right. Italian. Hey, welcome. Thank you. The only Italian I know is ciao bello. Ciao bello. Ah, yes. That's great, Saradini. It's all right, babe. I'd totally do it, but batteries are dead. Got them charging right now. Have to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Oh, geez, I thought I had them plugged in, but I guess I didn't have the cable plugged in where the charging plugs were. The power strip wasn't plugged in that I plugged all the chargers into. Guess I'll have to do them tomorrow. Perfectly. Oh, man. All right. Got the approval, huh? Yeah, but what about replacement batteries? And the materials used to make the batteries, Scorch. What about it? Just think about it. Hey, what's up, Dumbledore? Just think about it for a minute, Scorch. Marinate on it. Yeah. Just they need to be reshaped, I think. The eyeball itself. Yeah. It's a bit of a back and forth, and I will lock it in when I'm satisfied with the results, and so far we've not gotten to that point yet. We're getting closer though. A bit of a battle. That's how likenesses always are. This is exactly why it's so difficult to do them as troll heads, because needs this back and forth battle a lot of the times to really get things where they need to be. But I think the troll heads are doing troll head likenesses help me sharpen the ability to see where things need to go right away. To establish likeness quicker, you know. Oh yeah. Yeah, and when you're dealing with photos, you have different angles and different focal lengths, like shortening and perspective, and so many things messing with you. Hey, that's a step in the right direction. There, I can see that. Oh. Bring that eye in there. That totally fixed the issue I was having with the eyes right there. Oh yeah, for sure. And isn't it mind blowing when you do all of that and it's still off? Oh my goodness. It's like, all right, I've meticulously measured precisely the positioning of everything, made it exactly how it needs to be, and then you do all of it, and you're just like, something's off. What's going on here? What is happening? This makes no sense. Yep. I feel like the more you contend, though, the more you like push and contend and be willing to just chop pieces off and move them around. You know, like you start to hone and to sharpen this ability to see, to sculpt what you see and not what you think you see, or to almost become immune to that like natural bias that starts to build this like almost like a jaded blindness to, you become blind to what needs to be changed. You're like, oh yeah, oh, it looks great, everything's wonderful. Then you sit down and like the next day you sit down and look at it and you're like, what is going on here? This looks nothing like the person. Your own brain is lying to you. The best tactic is to not work on things too long and to really take advantage of that fresh eyes effect. So what I try to do is I try to get fresh eyes. So either take a long break or step away from it for a while, and then when you sit back down, you'll see very clearly, you'll start to see exactly what is off. You'll see it right away, like, ooh, that looks weird, that looks off. And then during that phase, that initial phase, you got like probably like a 30-minute window where it'll be very clear what needs to be changed. And that's when you take real drastic steps. That's when you're like, okay, gonna smush this over here, we're gonna cut this off there, you know, until you slowly become blind again, and then you have to do the process all over again. Start all over. You know, I gotta bring this eyebrow out. This needs to come out. Interesting. Some of my best likenesses came from having digital help. Like, I think my best likeness to date is the one we did for PlayStation, the Death Stranding. Norman Reedus. And we started using, on projects like that, it's super critical that I can get the likeness nailed and in a timely manner because, it's like it's a company piece. They need it by a certain time and everything. So we used to break through my blind bias digital tools. The misses would come in after I pushed it to the point where I feel like there's this, I don't know what to do, or I'm like kind of stuck in this not really sure what to do or how to do it type of thing. She would come in and take photos from the front and the side view with the camera, bring it into Photoshop and like digitally draw lines, put it next to the reference, exact same size, and draw lines from like through the eyes, the nose, the lips, and do just various kind of like just Photoshop things to kind of compare the reference to the where the sculpture was at that point. It was extremely helpful. So I wonder if I have some of those. I'll show you some of what I'm talking about, because this is... Let me see here. Just scroll way back. Further back in time. It was a long time ago, I suppose. Norman Reedus. Oh yeah, I feel like you're right. I did do a good job with Robert Downey Jr. Here we go. Okay, this is... So, like, here, let me show you stuff like, she would do stuff like this. It was extremely helpful. So like you could do, you could really see, like I was able to see here that the forehead needed to come out. See that? Subtle tweak there. The nose area looked pretty good. Lips too. I think chin, I just added a little bit more there. Oh, this is the one where I fixed the ear. See, look at the ear line. See? And then look at the ear here. Top of the ear should be right there. Bottom of the ear should be right there. I did a long time ago, Scorch. So that's a really valuable tool. And then she'd also do stuff like this. To really see how things are actually lining up. And, at this point, it was lining up pretty good. It was really, really close. And pretty good is all I'm trying to get to, really, to be honest. Pretty good. I'll take pretty good. Hey. How's it going, Rob? Wispy facial hair bits. On who? On I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think I just sculpted in the thicker area where the thicker hair was, and then the rest was done with paint. Hey, nice. Real nice, Rob. Kayaking camping trip. You got your personal locator beacon there, Mr. Rob? Just in case. Nope. Are you staying on a known trail of some sort? If you get lost, you don't want to be found? Alright. Nice knowing you, Rob. When you start looking into how often people go missing in state parks and natural preserve type areas, it's definitely I think it's a worthy investment if you like to go hiking. Do you see that story of that lady who starved, pretty much starved to death, and she was like, was it the Appalachian Trail or something like that? And she got off trail only like, I think it was only like a mile or two off trail. And they somehow didn't see her when the search and rescue was looking for her, and she ended up, she was staying put and just camping it out and waiting for help to come, and it just never found her till she had passed away, and there was a little journal and stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. She stepped off the trail just a smidge, got lost. That's how quick it happens, man. I've practiced navigation with like compass and a map, and man, out in the real world, it's not easy. Yeah, older person, very experienced hiker. She stepped off the trail just a little bit. It wasn't even very much, but got kind of turned around and lost, and couldn't find her way back to the trail. So then she, being the experienced hiker, thought, instead of marching too far, I'm gonna just stay put and wait for people to come find me. And they just didn't see her. Didn't find her until she had deceased. That's crazy. What was it? There's a channel on YouTube that tells stories of people that, like, almost died doing stuff like that. It's always fascinating to hear, kind of. There's this guy who was on a sailboat journey in the middle of the ocean, and his sailboat started capsizing. She did, yeah. She had a full camp. She had a camp. She had fire. Just didn't have food, or I think how long did she live? I think it was like over a month she was there before she succumbed to not having food or something like that. What was it? Was it the Appalachian Trail? I think it was. A 66-year-old hiker who got lost off the Appalachian Trail in Maine, July 2013. Despite stepping only a short distance off the path, she survived 26 days in the wilderness before passing away. Yeah. Her heartbreaking ordeal unfolded with a series of minor devastating mistakes in a remote section of the Maine wilderness. Disappearance. She was an experienced hiker with the trail name Inchworm, stepped off at the western Maine to relieve herself. She walked only a very short distance into the dense trees, but immediately became disoriented and couldn't find her way back to the path. Well, she had her cell phone and attempted to send SOS text to her husband. However, the area was so remote that she had no signal, and the text message never delivered. She did not have a map, compass, or GPS emergency beacon. She hiked to higher ground hoping for a cell signal, but to no avail because she didn't know exactly how far she had wandered. Search and rescue teams, which launched one of the largest in Maine's history, tragically focused their efforts miles away from where she actually was. Rescuers actually came within 100 yards of her hidden campsite at one point. Oh my goodness. You're right. Yeah, it is always that way. I mean, it's like one small mistake leads to another, leads to panic, which leads to more. It's like 26 days. Set up a makeshift campsite. She pitched her tent, gathered what supplies she had, and waited for rescue. She kept a journal in a Ziploc bag, documenting her ordeal for nearly a month while her food ran out and her phone eventually died. Yeah. Because of Maine woods, the Maine woods are incredibly dense. Her campsite went entirely unnoticed. It wasn't until October 2015 More than 2 years after she vanished, that the forest workers stumbled upon her remains and her tent. Crazy story. Get yourself an personal locator beacon there, Mr. Rob. Next time. I'm sure one of the 30 people you're with. Just don't stray from the group, okay? Stick with the group. Gotta take that stuff seriously. There's this one really crazy story with this guy who was he was at sea for like 72 days floating out on the ocean. Or was it even long? It might have been even longer than that. He survived too. Adrift, yeah. 76, yeah. That was the story that really got me hooked on listening to these like stories of people getting like lost in the jungles and stuff like that, and the ones where they survive. There was this really interesting one where this lady was hiking. Man, where was it? So like Nevada or something like that. And she had her dog with her and ended up getting lost off trail. And it was interesting to hear how long the dog really stayed with her, you know, stuck it out with her before it ran off. I think it stayed with her for like 10 days. And it really only ran off because she wouldn't share her water with it. So the dog finally got to the point where it was like, screw you, lady, I'm out of here. And there was a Native American village actually really close to where she was. She just didn't know. And that's where the dog was. So probably that whole 10 days, the dog, because of its senses, knew exactly that there was people and like could smell probably the food, knew there was water and food, just like, but could never communicate it. It's just so funny. So when the lady finally was at a breaking point and kind of got upset with the dog because it like tipped over her only like water source or something like that, the dog was like, see you later. And for like the next 10 days or something like that, she was still stuck out there, and the dog was sitting nice and comfy with plenty of water and food at the Native American camp. They're pretty pricey. Yeah, I mean, it's really just a matter of if you're going like hiking in the woods a lot. It's a good thing to have if you're going like deep woods trekking and doing all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But if you're on like a really in a known area that's and you're with a bunch of other people, I think it's less necessary. But yeah, if you're one of those people that really gets into doing a lot of hiking and deep woods stuff, I think it's a worthy investment. SOS beacon. Good, good. Very good, Mr. Rob. That's just the beginning of the dangers. Don't get me started about Bigfoot. Don't be running into any Bigfoot out there. Well, interdimensional cryptids snatching you from your tent. They never did find Rob, but they did find his shoes 500 miles away from the last seen place Rob was. That's it, just a pair of shoes sitting on top of a rock. No other traces. 500 miles up the side of a mountain, even. Believe it or not, there's a lot of stories like really strange, crazy stories like that. Look into Missing 411 by Mr. David Paulides. He's a guy who investigates missing, strange missing disappearance reports. That's good, Diomede. Yeah, that's really good suggestions there. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, make sure somebody knows where you're at, where you're going, and when you should be back. Gotta have a person that you can share that info with, and then boom, then you're good at that point. One of your passions there, Diomedes. That's good. That's a good thing. That's important knowledge to share, I'd say. So back when I was kind of training my ability to trek through the woods, like no trails trekking through the woods, I would go to areas of woods that were very large, but like not so large, like still surrounded by roadways. You know, those are the best places to practice. And I would set up camp on one end of the woods with the next day I would go hiking through, and with the intent of trying to get to a certain destination like on the map. And oh my goodness, how many times I popped out of the woods and was like in a completely different side or something like that. It's not easy because like when you're trying to use a compass and you're trying to navigate and you're in really dense woods, it's just like tons of hills. Sometimes the brush is so dense you can't just go straight. You know, you have to kind of you can't just go in a straight line, you know. So it's so easy to get completely turned around or completely in the wrong direction in the deeper woods with no trail, for sure. We're not pigeons or turtles. No, we're not. I was surprised to learn people get rescued hiking around Hawaii. Yeah. When you got a good landmarks, a compass, and a map, when you're bushwhacking, it's easy to get lost. Yeah, right. Exactly. Even with the, bushwhacking. Yeah. So easy. But that is the way, honestly, that is the way to practice that particular skill. If you really want to practice that, get good with using a compass and a map to make your way through the woods. You just pick a section of woods that's got roads on all four sides, you know. That's not this massive, sprawling, endless woods, you know. That's when you run into trouble. But yeah, I couldn't believe it some of the times where I would go through and just... Actually, this is where I found one of these here. This artifact right here, I was actually found on one of those treks. I was in a deeper part of the woods and I found an old... Sadie was with me at the time, and I found an old, like, you could barely see it, but it was like the old kind of like rubble of an old building of some sort. The type old school buildings that used to, the foundations were made out of large stones. And yeah, Sadie came to me with one of these in her mouth from the rubble, along with a few other artifacts I was able to recover. Totally in the middle of the deep, really deep woods. Just like the very, very subtle remnants of an old structure. Like you could just tell it was some sort of foundation. Yeah. Middle of the woods and you come along a rusted car or something. Yeah. So, probably got there before it was big, thick woods. Hold on 1 second. Hey, what's up, Mitty Mew? Thank you very much. Stop posting links. Disposable. How dare you not put a period after your, or space after your period. No, I did do the slash thing. It did a period without a space after, so I thought it was a link. Hey, how you doing? How was your stream there, Mitty Mew? I appreciate that. Thank you so very much for bringing your people in here. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. we're talking about getting lost in the woods. 'Cause I'm lost in the woods. A cool hand-drawn graphic novel page. Okay, cool. Is this an ongoing project or it's kind of like a one-off type deal? Book, working on the book. We're sculpting a portrait of a 4-year-old young boy. Working our way through a likeness. A very difficult one. I mean, all likenesses are difficult, but I think especially kids are even harder. But starting to shape up. All right. Well, I think that's a good stopping point, actually. And I'm really feeling good about this. It's really starting to look like him. Another step closer. Well, thank you very much for joining me, folks. Mini Mew, I appreciate it, my friend, but it's the end of a long day for me, so I'm gonna get on out of here. It's your second book. You started in comics as a colorist, but you're doing your own thing now. Well, I agree. I think everyone should do their own thing, if you can. Do your own thing. Yeah, hey, thank you, Mr. Deagle. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. We'll continue on next week. Definitely filling in more of the forehead shape. Helped put it into perspective what we needed to do with some of the other parts. So we will we'll look at it with fresh eyes again next week and continue forward. I'm not really not gonna lock this in until I'm totally happy with it. But yeah, building the forehead in, let us see that the eyes needed to be shifted, and then once we shifted the eyes, it's like it all just kind of came together. So I imagine establishing a little bit of the more of like the jawline and stuff can really help too. Maybe even get the ears put in. But anyways, let's find someone to raid. Hey, you two Cheese and Sabs and Boot Camp, thanks for hanging out, Boot Camp. Over on the YouTube side. Sapphire, Clayton. The She-Devil, good night. Casey, good night. Good night. Scorch, good night. Disposable. Saradini, good night. Good night. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. Wednesday. We are working on the Journai. Journai Paladin in the morning, and then the Dragon in the evening. I'm gonna drop you guys off Mr. Valencia Glass. He's making a push for partnership this month, and is it this month or just in general? Let's go get some more eyes over there. Help him out on his quest. All right, my friends. Till next time. Bye-bye.